obsessive poets, this is heavier than it looks. Apparently, James Joyce tells us, practical life, or art, comprehends all our activities, from boat building to poetry. So, like some wonder-working thaumaturge using the word for the thing so it's really there, summoning something material to be seen, touched, felt or presented to the mind, let's build a boat with poetry. But where are we to begin or leave off? The library here helpfully had a copy of the Shellback's Guide to Shipbuilding. To those who seek a little more knowledge of the ships they see, build or sail in, it has passed a representative jury of its future public, and with thanks and appreciation to a number of others who must, unfortunately, remain anonymous. It will make the study of ship construction easier, not only for those at sea, but also for those of our brother sailors who are prisoners of war. In order to avoid confusion, rules have been followed throughout. The rules vary somewhat in detail. They are not arbitrary, they are mainly very similar, other forms are allowed. The wise would have the courage to prefer the right word to another, which may be both clumsy and incorrect, and for a landsman to use the shellback's pronunciation would smack of affectation. Carry on. Confine yourselves to asking for a midship section. Ship construction will lose many of its terrors. Oil tankers are included, may contain rivets. Oh, here we go. The half-block model shows the ship owner the shape, the position of the waterlines on the half-breadth plan, the sections on the body plan, the shape of the sections which are marked on the plan, the main details of her outline and her construction. The forward on the right, the after ones on the left. A number of other details. Bevel lines give the bevel required. Ribboned lines show the position. Panting stringers and any other stringers. The process of adjustment termed fairing the body. Drawn full size on a large wooden mould loft. From the mould loft to the screeve board, close to the bending slabs. Lines cut in and coloured for distinguishing apart. The men who are bending determine their shape. Bevel and position the holes. The blocks are usually balks, and they're kept from tripping. In some yards, the outer bottom is erected first. Dogs can be fitted. Beams are bent cold to give the right camber, marked and punched in, and those in the way and at the turn of the bilge. The set iron is an iron batten, fastened down by dog and pins, first bevelled and then bent, a special bevelling lever being used, gradually worked round to the curvature by means of squeezers, progressively fastened by dogs, pins and wedges. It is usual to erect the after ones first and then to carry the works on, until the plumb bob is directly over the centre. Using a large square, triangulation usually called horning, special plumb allows for the slope. Beams are next faired by means of measurements marked in the mould loft. Outer ends are faired, the knees permanently fastened. Now, in other operations, erected at about the same time, after frames have been faired, plates are actually punched. Templates are skeleton frameworks. Shell plating is generally begun with an in-strake near the bilge, in any order that happens to be convenient. A number of plates with adjacent in-strakes are in place. The out-strake between them is commenced. Bar keel, beam knee, bulkhead, deck, girder, tank, trunk, first plate, frame. Any unfairness which may occur is reduced to the minimum possible. but a slight unfairness might be considerably magnified. Remaining work necessary before launching is done. Pillars, deck girders, hatch combings, the stern, hawse pipes, etc. Such work is straightforward and need not be considered here. Oh, yeah. Superstructure, margin, mast, floor, stern. The shell flanges are made to point aft in the forepart and forward in the afterpart. The two flanges cannot be at right angles, since one must be in the athwartships line, break the end of a superstructure. The measure with the tendency of a beam to bend is called the bending moment. The curve of floodable lengths is a graph. Strength is of considerable importance in butts and laps. A point is reached at which it will not return to its original length, and this is termed the elastic limit. Face angles are stiffening angles. Common examples of gussets are those at tank-side brackets and those connecting panting beams to stringers, obviously. Scantlings are the sizes of the various parts. Shelter decks may or may not be of the same scantlings. Shelter decks are exempt from tonnage, with some exceptions. The toes and heels of an angle and bracket. Strain is distortion or molecular disturbance due to stress. Floors are said to be tripped when thrown off the vertical. A large number takes place into narrow channels. The standard tumble home is 12 inches at the strength deck. At last, the lancing. There are two sets of ways, the lower or fixed ways and the upper or sliding ways. And the declivity of the ways varies considerably with different slips and types. Dogshores or daggers are set up to fix the sliding ways in position until the moment. Pillar, shell, stem, rudder, panting stringer, ventilator, cellular double bottom. The remainder of the fixed ways are now greased, and a hydraulic ram is put in place to give it a start if she should fail to move of herself. God, it's a right riveting read.